add or ingredients to the grocery cart of Instacart. I think I already have.
Okay, so this is incredible, by the way. I just want to talk about this from a practical standpoint. I know the price point of $200 per month is pretty high. I'm curious whether they're going to release this on just like the pro or the business model. And when I say pro, I mean like the premium, just plus, I guess, is their $20 a month option. $200 a month for a personal task like this, probably too high. But as you can see, this is pretty convenient. Be like, hey, I want this recipe. Can you give me those things in my Instacart? Hi, my name is Dimitri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents Podcast, brought to you by JotForm, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Ida Tank. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Oh my goodness, it's finally happening. We're gonna get AI agents with ChatGPT. So I remember I talked about this with Ida on an episode a month or so ago. The ChatGPT Pro announcement was a little bit underwhelming. The cost was really high. The advanced nature of what they were giving us wasn't necessarily good. However, you're finally going to get something that I think is going to be much more worth the money than you could imagine. So here we have Operator. It's a research preview of an agent that can use its own browser to perform tasks for you. So they have a preview on their website, as you can see right here. Basically, you can ask it to do something for you, and it's going to go through its own browser and perform that actual task. So for example, it's asking to find a family-friendly campsite at Joshua Tree. And what you'll see is it'll follow the steps that you're asking, and then you can tell it to actually book something. So watch this. Find me a family-friendly campsite at Joshua Tree this weekend. You can press and enter that. And then from there, what'll happen is it'll actually go on the internet and attempt to do this for you. Right? So it's going to navigate to HipCamp, enter Joshua Tree, all these types of things. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask you whether this exact one is a good option. And you, in this case, could say book it, and you can actually book that. So ChatGPT Operator is something that is going to perform, I think, pretty well. Let's show you exactly what this ChatGPT announcement is.
Yes, my name is Hyunwoo No, and I'm a research lead operator in OpenAI.
And what is Operator?
Operator is a research preview of an agent that uses browsers to help users to do things. So I have a 3-year-old kid who likes pasta, so I make a linguine with clam. So I ask it to buy the groceries for it.
Wow.
So I use Instacart tab, and Operator can actually basically use any websites and it is not particularly optimized for Instacart. But the reason why I'm using this app is that it provides a detailed instruction of how this website can be best utilized, just like the tutorial that human can benefit from. So I'll use Instacart tab and ask it to solve task. Could you find a recipe of linguine with clams from our recipes website and add all ingredients to the grocery cart of Instacart? I think I already have.
Okay, so this is incredible, by the way. I just want to talk about this from a practical standpoint. I know the price point of $200 per month is pretty high. I'm curious whether they're going to release this on just like the pro or the business model. And when I say pro, I mean like the premium, just plus, I guess, is their $20 a month option. $200 a month for a personal task like this, probably too high. But as you can see, this is pretty convenient. Be like, hey, I want this recipe. Can you give me those things in my Instacart?
We have some ingredients like butter, vegetable oil, and
even omitting some stuff.
And black pepper. So you don't need to add them to the cart. So it says that I'll find a recipe and then add everything in the ingredients to the cart. And okay, it says that it'll confirm the ingredients and store with me before adding them to the cart. So let's start.
This is interesting. The agent is actually giving you a human in the loop step. I remember we talked about this with the booking in the previous example, but this is important.
Finding the recipe. I'm not doing anything from now on. The operator is just doing, and I'm just watching what it's doing. What is interesting with the operator is that it is using browsers that are built for the human, and it is using seeing the exactly same screen that I'm seeing right now, and using the keyboard typing and mouse clicking to control the browser, just like human would do. This is different from other agents that uses API or programming-based interface, which programmers might understand, but non-programmer users cannot understand really well. So
this is important to note. It's going to be accessible.
Operator, because it is using this natural human interface, it's very easy to follow by just looking at what it's doing in the screen.
Can you follow its progress?
Yes. So one way to following its progress is I can zoom in to see the screen better. And Operator is powered by the text-based chain of thought reasoning. So whenever it is doing things, it's
going to tell us.
It makes plans of how things can be done, and this can be followed through this list of the thoughts. And it says I found the recipe, and which store would you prefer to use? So I'll ask use Gus's. So often it asks clarifying question whenever it is needed in the process of solving the task. There are cases that operator have to make sensitive actions like things like logging in or buying things. In this case, we built Operator to be safe in this situation. So Operator is designed to
Okay, this is very good. The fact that they've made it so that it will not do things unless you give it confirmation for more sensitive things, I appreciate that. So it's giving you a step-by-step breakdown. It's giving you an explanation as to what's happening. These are all extremely, extremely important things.
Us to take control to log in by ourselves, or whenever you needed checking it.
Oh, okay. So we can take over it during the process too. That's huge.
Control so that
so it's almost like a mini browser within your ChatGPT.
Double check whether the list is correct and then checking it by myself.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you showing it to us.
This is incredible. I think this is the future of the year. Operator is going to be one of many. There's going to be so many more things to talk about it. So let's break down some of the ways that this actually works. Essentially what it does, it says it's powered by a new modal called Computer Using Agent, CUA, combining GPT-4o's vision capabilities with advanced reasoning through reinforcement learning. CUA is trained to interact with graphical user interfaces, the buttons, menus, and text fields people see on a screen. Operator can see through screenshots and interact using all the actions and mouse keyboard allowed with a browser, enabling it to take action on the web without requiring custom API integrations. If it encounters challenges or makes mistakes, Operator can leverage its reasoning capabilities to self-correct. When it gets stuck and needs assistance, it simply hands control back to the user, ensuring a smooth and collaborative experience. So you're going to have to be on, your computer and interact with it during the steps, which I do find interesting, but probably will take less time in a way. If you want to step away during when it's finding the groceries or whatnot and go back, yeah. So it also says here that to get started, you can simply describe the task and it'll handle the rest. Users can choose to take control over the remote browser at any point. Users can personalize their workflows in Operator by adding custom integrations, either for all sites or for specific ones, such as setting preferences for airlines on Booking.com. Okay, interesting. Operator lets users save prompts for quick access on the homepage, ideal for repeated tasks like restocking groceries and Instacart, similar to using multiple tabs on a browser. Users can have Operator run multiple tasks simultaneously by creating new conversations, like ordering a personalized enamel mug on Etsy while booking a campsite on HipCamp. So let's check this video out as well.
For New York City for October 1st. To get started, you're going to click on your account and you'll see this websites tab on the side. And for me, I really like to use Priceline to book my trips, and so I'm going to add some custom instructions to Priceline. So for me, I like to keep my vacation schedules really flexible, and so I like fully refundable rates. And I also like to make sure I have one meal planned in advance, so I like to opt for free breakfast. So I'm going to type always look for...
It's like almost your mini GPTs and agents within each.
Now, every time I use the Priceline, the model will have access to these instructions, and so I won't have to remind it.
If my preferences were always factored in an agent, I would definitely be comfortable with using it for this. I'm not usually comfortable with this kind of stuff, but I appreciate that. Also, Peepo, we know they're using Screen Studio because of that. It's the best.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm trying to plan some trips in advance for the year. And so I'm gonna start by typing Priceline, and I'm trying to plan a trip to New York right now. So I'm gonna say,
look at those custom prompts.
For New York City for October 1st to October 7th. I have no preference for bed size. And I'm gonna fire it off, and now it's gonna start searching and keep my preferences in mind.
And then at this point, are you doing anything, or is Operator...
Hands off.
I'm not doing anything right now. The Operator is doing everything by itself. So it'll actually come back once it's found all the details, and it'll ask me to confirm the details look correct, and then either I can take over and check out, or I can ask the model to check out, and once it actually clicks, before it clicks the button, it'll ask me to confirm before it does that too.
Great. Well, have a great trip.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. I think that we're looking at something that is going to be absolutely outstanding. Truth be told, I like where this is headed. And for me, as somebody who's a tutorial person, I think this is going to be really interesting because allegedly ChatGPT Pro is going to have a lot more capabilities as well. It's going to also give you extended access to the Soro video generation and access to research preview of operator, obviously. But O1 Pro mode basically is a higher reasoning level. You're going to get more limits for video and screen sharing and advanced voice. And I'm just curious to see how I'll use this.
This right here is OpenAI's chat. It expands the remote session, allowing me to enter in my own details. Pretty important. So I'm going to hackathon option. It clicks on the item.
I mean, for the most part, this is one of those things where, you know, there's been RPA. It's robotic process automation, where you can predefine a set of parameters for it to do, and it'll click and click and click in the way that you told it to. But this is next level. This is just it being a mini person. And the fact that we found out I can do multiple tasks at once, you can get all your chores done if you need to do it virtually, you know, in such a quick way. I mean, like for example, you can book a trip, get groceries, and plan ahead on, you know, getting new swim trunks or something like that for a vacation in a much shorter period of time. You're not doing those one at a time. You're not doing them sequentially, you're doing them in parallel. And anyone knows, I mean, task batching, if you're doing things in parallel, you're getting, you know, more work done. For example, if you're working at your desk and you're also getting the laundry done by running in the background, two things at once. It's very common practice in cooking, right? You have one thing cooking on the stove, one thing in the oven, and those things are going, and you're not just sitting there waiting, you're also cutting something, you're also boiling the water for the pasta. This same concept can be utilized in this new operator model. So if you're willing to spend the $200 to try it out, do. I mean, why not? If you're somebody who thinks they can benefit from this, I don't see why not. And I look forward to seeing its capabilities moving forward. Some of the limitations, though, is that it's an early research preview, and while it's already capable of handling a wide range of tasks, it's still learning, evolving, and making mistakes. So for instance, it currently encounters challenges with complex interfaces like creating slideshows or managing calendars. Early user feedback will play a vital role in enhancing its accuracy, reliability, and safety. What's next is that you're going to get CUA in the API. So they're planning to expose the model operating CUA in the API so that developers can build their own computer using agents. This is going to be incredible. Imagine having a recurring task that tells it to go scour the internet for certain things. That's amazing. They're going to expand Operator to Plus, Team, and Enterprise users and integrate its capabilities directly into ChatGPT in the future once they are more confident in its safety and usability at scale, unlocking seamless real-time and asynchronous task execution. So for me and my company, I'm definitely going to be using this. Having a basically person, in my perspective, a person that can do stuff like this. This is incredible. If there is a limit of an API, you can train this API to do the tasks in the interface of the product. So then it kind of serves as its own API bridge. That's incredible. So excited for this to go on the team plan so I can try it out. If anyone's interested in commenting on this, please do leave a comment down below and leave us a review. What are your thoughts on Operator and what are your thoughts on this podcast? Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.